Samantha, you're a really experienced solo sailor, but it's your first Vendee Globe. How does it feel?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the start, and I feel pretty ready, even though it's my first Vendee Globe, with everything I've done, and I've had Roxy now for 2 years, so I've been able to train a lot and do lots of other races in preparation.
What led you to this event? Is it something you've always wanted to do?
No, not at all. When I was a little kid, I actually dreamt about the Whitbread Round the World race. That was my dream race to do. But I never imagined I'd do that either, because I thought that was just beyond my capabilities. So I'm not too much of a dreamer. I only want to do something once I know I can do it well. And so only really since the last 2 years since I've been skippering Roxy that I've actually been dreaming about this race.
Now, you've done a lot on the Figaro circuit. How important was that to you?
For me, that's why I'm here now. The mini transat and then the Figaro, that's kind of the classic, I guess, French way of approaching the Vendee Globe and just the way to progress in single-handed sailing. And for me, 4 years in the Figaro class is compulsory before taking up a challenge like this. And just it's the same basically. The Figaro, you learn about how the driving the boat full speed under spinnaker and getting sleep at the same time and trusting your autopilot. And I have the same basic system of autopilots on Roxy as I did on my Figaro, and all that practice helps.
You seem to be really at home and enjoy the long distance stuff, is that true?
Yeah, I do. Although it's funny because one of the reasons I wasn't so sure about the Vendee Globe was because I love the regatta. When I lived in England, I was an avid Sunday racing, round the cairns, fastnet race, channel races person, and so I've kind of, maybe I've just got to love the offshore side of it. Although sometimes kind of racing windward lures, that's something that I miss now because you can't really do that very well in these boats.
No, not really.
Although we do in training.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Well,
then it means if you race around the cairns, we race around the cairns training single-handed in Port La Forêt, and that makes the start there a lot easier when you know that you can tack 15 times in 10 minutes.
Yeah, of course. You mentioned that school. You've trained there a lot.
Yeah.
How important was that to you?
Again, it's something that I knew I had to do before I tackled the big races.
Yeah.
For me, I guess my way of mental preparation is actually doing it, going out there and training and sailing and scaring myself and pushing myself, and putting myself in situations to progress.
What's it like being one of just 2 female sailors?
It just means we get lots of more questions about female sailors. Once we're out on the water, it really doesn't make any difference. To me, I come from a sailing family and I've always sailed, so it's normal to be, unfortunately, one of the few girls, because there's not many of us sail. There's more and more, and I think hopefully Dee and I are showing others that it's possible, and showing potential sponsors that it's worth backing us.
Yeah, so it's more important to have technique than ultimate physical strength sailing these boats.
Yeah, it's all about how you do your manoeuvre, and quite often even if it's, I've done manoeuvres alongside other guys, and just the fact that you think about how you're going to do the manoeuvre, and you know that you're not very strong, so you bear right away, you throw the boat right down so that there's no load in the sail whilst you're dealing with it, and then actually the manoeuvre becomes a lot easier. And sometimes I can do a manoeuvre faster than the guy next to me just because I've taken the approach that I am a girl and there's no point trying to fight it.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, the manoeuvres aren't really important in a round the world race. It's about the tactics, strategy, and keeping your boat in one piece. And all of that is more comes from the skills up there than the skills in the muscles.
Let's talk about your boat. So it's the PRB, old PRB's, won the last 2 events.
Yeah.
It must make you feel pretty good of it. It'll get you around.
It makes me feel pretty proud to be able to be sailing this boat. There's lots of people coming past this week taking photos of the boat because it's famous and they don't care about me. So it's nice to carry on, to keep sailing a good boat. And I know that I'm safe on board Roxy. Although sometimes I'm frustrated because she's just, on paper, she's not as fast as the new boats. They're a lot more powerful, and the designers have found their way around the rules now to make these boats faster, more powerful, and sometimes easier to sail. There's advantages and disadvantages, but the fact that she's solid and I can pretty much do what I like and make the odd mistake and she'll just pop up and keep going, and for me that's really reassuring, especially because it's my first Vendee.
Yeah. So, on your first race, what's your ambition out there? Where do you want to finish?
To win it in 2012.
Okay.
This race I want to get round, and I want to finish in good shape, with Roxy in good shape. And I've given myself the goal, knowing that it's going to be hard to win, I've given myself the goal of my boat's record time, as she won 4 years ago, of 87 days, 10 hours, 40-something minutes, and that I've written that down on the boat, and that's my personal objective for this year.
Well, we'll be following you all the way. We wish you lots and lots of luck and look forward to seeing you when you finish.
Thank you very much.